Mercurial energy. This is our Bible study night. I want to say first of all, salutation to my Madrina, to my Madrino, to my Oba, and to all of my brothers and sisters in the Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, and Adjays. If this is your first time in my life, my name is Chief Apostle Samuel Uda Jr. I am the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted in the ATAR. The ATRs are the African traditional religions by which we harness, direct, and disperse energy, frequency, and vibration. To each and every one of you guys, I also want to say, um, hello to my Pisces, my Aries, my Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. Hello to each and every one of you guys. What's up, dear Jeremy? Thank you for joining us on tonight, our Bible study night, Mercurial energy. We're talking about the power of Mercury, not only when it comes to speed and manifestation, but also healing and answers at crossroads. We getting ready to honor Mafedi Fum Erigba Eshu, also Lucera Mundo. That's we going through all these energies. What's up, my Demetrius, my Gemini in the house? I want to say to each and every one of you guys, thank you so very very much for purchasing your psychic classes. That will be coming up very shortly. And after we get our psychic class, then we're gonna do our implement our 13 circle, which in that those ceremonies I will be teaching and also showing people how to open up portals and how to close them. I will be bringing spirits through those portals while we're in class. And then once we get that done, then those that have received their Egon stick, we're gonna do a class for all of you guys. I'm gonna have my Egon stick, and so therefore I'm gonna carry out ceremonies so we'll learn more efficient ways how to use our magic, our energy, and our frequency. So yes, I am overly excited for all the students. I got you, my baby Scorpio is in the house. What's up there, Stormy, my Sagittarius from Detroit? I just got it. All right. Harry Jones said, blessing. Thank you so much for being with us on tonight. First of all, I want to say this is going to be a very, very good night. And I'm doing all of these teachings to preface us and get us prepared for the psychic class. Also getting you prepared for Egum. Also getting you prepared for a Ligba. To also getting you prepared. We got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of things we got to evolve into. What's up, my Bo ass? Bo, you don't send me some good videos. But last night, when you sent that video, I stayed up and watched that all the way through. Yes, we will win. That lady was anointed. That was a meaningful song to me, especially what I've been dealing with. Now, I'm going to teach something tonight, but I'm going to teach it in a way that you will have a better understanding of why your conjure is important, why your evolution is important, why you need to start putting your spirituality first. And at no time also understand this. You grown. I'm a Sagittarius, Moon and Aries, and Rising Sign Pisces. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm talking about as for me in my house. One of the things that I have tried to endeavor with melanated people is give you an opportunity not to be a person that needs somebody to tell them what to do. No, somebody. Our channel ain't here for you to. We don't even know you. We don't know your friend. So somebody take care of that. That's very rude and disrespectful. Okay, but I think I said, and Mama Susan, What's up, Miss Yvette? My cancer in the house. I think you've been smelling me. Oh no, Beyonce said feeling me. One of those. What's up, Apollo in the house? I want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys for your level of support for our melanated people. I thank you for the services, the incense burn. What's up, Natasha Foster, my Aquarius, my aphrodisiac? If you want to be stimulated, you want to be aroused, you want to maximize your sexual prowessness, take a dab of Natasha. Or take more than that, whatever you can handle. But you're grown, so make sure you're responsible for that aphrodisiac. Much love to each and every one of you guys. Like I said, I feel so much better. I feel amazing. And I feel like this is a time that God has raised me up to actually further your spirituality. What's up, love? My Taurus is in the house. All right, I got aphrodisiac, and I got me some. I got my Cancer with. I like it when it's wet, and then I got my love. My Taurus is all about pleasure. I think this is a appropriate concoction. I told you I'm an alchemist. Now, tonight is going to be about you having a better understanding of spirituality, a better understanding of the purpose of why your prayers need to be elevated, why your understanding needs to be elevated, and also why we're getting these don't forget, tomorrow, June 5th, the sun is going to be off the chain. If I were you, and I'm not, because I'd be feeling myself. Anyway, tomorrow is a powerful sun. Tomorrow and the next day, that energy is going to be off the record. I would admonish you, sir and ma'am, if you got crystals, if you got any of your jewelry that make sure you get some of that ache. Melanated people, if you can, soak up some of that sun. I'm gonna be utilizing Ebasa Nedidiosa in our ceremonies. I got those huge quartz crystals I'll be having outside because the sun comes up on the east side of my house. My head lays in the west when I'm in my bedroom. Oh, even when I'm in the living room, in the recliner, I'm still facing the west. My head. This head be facing the east. My up here be in the west. This one down here be in the east. I don't know why that was necessary to say. But it is gonna be a powerful sun. So I would, if I was you, as a root worker, conjurer, mystic, a beginner, intermediate, before you go to work, put something out there on your balcony or your ledge, or hell, even in your car, in the especially you in an area where the sun is shining, make sure you get some of that sun. And if you don't, I have some for you. Now, I want to talk about something that is very pertinent and essential to spiritual growth. He said, I got a bottle of water with Shungite in the window. I know that's right, Demetri. I got to raise some more money, but I want 4 more of those Shungite pyramids because I want to do a ceremony getting into our psychic class, and I'm gonna do a candle on my day of power tomorrow for $100 donation, and it's gonna be, I'm gonna teach about clove and how I utilize it and how the benefit that you can have and getting those candles. and releasing that energy during this powerful sun. Y'all know I'm about health and money and inches, and in women's case diameter, but males inches. I'm about strengthening the melanated people. Now, my subject on tonight, sir and ma'am, everybody here grown. My subject is weak link breaks the chain. The weak link breaks the chain. So we're gonna be coming from Ephesians, the 6th chapter, 10 through 16. And this is really important, that whether you do root work, whether you got prayer life, whether you do affirmations, whether you do voodoo, whether you do Santeria, or any of the black arts, if you operate in a Kemet or Egyptology, any form of African science, this is going to help you understand. We think you come in because any interaction helps my channel, and any super chat is welcome. Now, Ephesians the 6th chapter, 10 through 16 says this. Verse 10 says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord," Adonai, "and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor, or complete armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles or the scheme or the target of the devil." Now, the purpose, what's up there? The purpose of this teaching tonight, and I'm going to break it down, is whatever area that you do not have cover, you will not be able to extinguish. Quench means to extinguish. So in order for you to be able to extinguish the fiery darts, now the darts that this particular scripture is talking about is the one that they shoot like this. In Africa, they have a shoot, and they put poisonous darts in there, and they try to shoot you in your face and anywhere in your body, because the poison is actually in the arrowhead. So this is not a game. A lot of times when people teach about spiritual warfare and people talk about conjure and prayer, intercession, they don't have the mindset, because you're in the church, and a lot of times you think God gonna fight your battle, or your angel. Everybody gotta get in the fight but you. That is so far from the truth. If you start something, you're gonna have to finish it. Okay? Now, the ability of understanding offensive magic and defensive magic is to understand what I'm about to break down. Now, it said, verse 12, "For we wrestle or struggle or combat not against flesh and blood." When we understand that the spirit world comes first, and that our flesh are avatars, a lot of things that you think you're doing on your own, it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with who's in control or what kind of influence. That's from grocery stores. You went in to get one thing, but because of the energy, the conjure, and the music and everything else got going on, you end up walking out with 6 or 7 things. Everything carries an influence. I want everybody to know, when you go into the beauty salon, influence. When you go into the hair salon, influence. When you go to the church, influence. If you go to the river, influence. Everything carries a vibrational energy and a frequency. We are all influenced by energy, frequency, and vibration. Internet don't matter. Church, it don't matter. At the whole house, I have been influenced Praise God. Anyway, it said, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So we understand their hierarchy of influence. And that just because you are able to battle, say for word's sake, say for instance you have the capabilities of battling and winning and prevailing. Hey, Minister Al, Aquarius in house, you may be able to battle that principality. Now, principality has rulership. I was in Titusville. I was at Mother Susan's house, and a part of my ceremony that I was doing at that particular house and location. First of all, I asked Mother Susan for permission to do the work in her house. This is what y'all don't understand. I don't care if you're at a church. You can't just come in and start releasing energy, frequency, and vibration in a space without consulting the person that is the boss. I asked her permission, and then I asked for the spirit that rules over Titusville. I asked for the spirit of the earth that was around that particular land. I needed y'all to participate in this working. See, I already communicated with the principality of Port St. Lucie. When my church, I communicated with the principality of Fort Pierce, Florida. And then there are other spirits that are higher than that. But I'm here to say, if you were able to deal with the Prince of Persia, there's other spirits higher than those spirits. And there are different types of armory that you need to have to go up against those type of spirits. And too many people in the church quote this scripture, even though themselves they're not in a position or a place to combat these spirits. Now, the reason I asked Mother Susan for permission is that I don't have to battle the energy that she's prayed in her own house. I'm going to say that again. When you don't get permission to operate in a particular space, then you're trying to force your energy or your influence in that environment. And it's easier for me to get permission to allow that working to flow and complement the energy that is in that space. A lot of y'all have raised up in the church and y'all got rapist attitudes. You're always trying to force your influence on people, places, and things. And that's even down to your money work. That's even down to your healing. I ask permission for the spirits of the hospital to work for me and not against me. To heal and not kill. I don't just walk in there. I'm breaking this down so you have a better understanding why certain tools are necessary for you to move forward in your spiritual life and your manifestation of the reality by which you want to live in. But you can do what you want to do. Everybody grown. So it goes on to say, verse 13. Wherefore take you the whole armor of God, the artillery of God, because y'all remember our weapons are mighty through God and pulling down of strongholds. So it goes on to say that ye may be able to withstand in the day of it said evil, but it's really opposition. And having done all to stand. Now, what I want to break down here is you need the whole armor of God or the divinity of God to what? To be able to quench the, stand against the wiles or the schemes of the devil or the evil one. And then in order to stand in your day of opposition, you're going to need the whole armor of God to do that also. So the church, what they basically are telling you is to imagine that you got the whole armor of God. Some people tell you to imagine yourself surrounded in white light. Baby, that's mental magic. And your mind ain't that strong. I said on the onset, be strong in the Lord. Be strong in conscience. Be strong in mysticism. Be strong in voodoo. Not pretend that you have something and you have certain artillery that you don't have. This is not an imaginative battle. There's real work being done. Is a real spiritual fight being had, and you need to understand the breakdown. The church tells you to pray about it, and then turn around and tell you it's in God's hand. This is why most Christians get their ass whooped. God didn't start that fight, and God ain't got to finish that fight. There's no contract between you and the divine that God and spirit need to step in. Now, your ancestors got to assist you in your situation, because what affects you affects them. But all these other entities that you want to get involved in your battle or your situation, this is why you don't see a strong manifestation of a return for what you speak and declare out your mouth. Because you have to have the necessary artillery to combat the different spaces that you're trying to occupy. You're trying to strong arm, rob your job space because you won't have respect to act the spirit that rules over the location where your workplace is, to assist you in your endeavors to prosper in that particular job. Now you as a entity, as a spirit, want to force your will and your desires on your job or your profession. And everybody is not in agreement with you getting your desire. This is why I say that people that claim to be spiritual or want to be spiritual make their job more harder than what needs to be. Is because you're not learning how the spirit world really works. You're not learning how to appropriately walk into spaces that don't belong to you and still be able to get the help you need without conflict. The freedom that I have in Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated is not the freedom that I have in somebody's church. I had pastor tell me, Apostle Ely, you are free to let God use you here. I say I said, are you sure? I'm sad. Because what I do in my house, I have the liberty and the freedom of doing. But in other people, are you sure that I can? Because a lot of times people say things trying to be nice or cordial, and they really don't mean what they're saying. When I have somebody tell me, this your pussy, but they don't really mean it's my pussy. They just telling me I can keep going at the direction. But can I act a fool on this pussy? Am I regulated with pace and stroke? Because some people will tell you certain things that they really ain't give you that kind of permission. Are you saying I can do what I want with it, or I can do what you want me to do in the confinements of my freakiness? I need to know. Clarity is important. Spirits are no different. Don't say certain things that you don't really mean. You ain't really thought those things through. And therefore, when it comes to warfare, you're not covering your territory like you think you are. And you are going into other territory, not realizing you creating a conflict, a spiritual conflict. Not a all-out war, but a skirmish. Because you're trying to prosper. You're trying to maneuver in a space that don't belong to you. Now, I ain't going to say that every space that, even if I ask permission, that sometimes I got to do that thing my son or oldest son said, might makes right. Sometimes I got to both guard the bitch. The kingdom of God suffered violence, and the violent got to take it by force. I've had situations and circumstances in conjure that I had to, my might made right. That's why I said be strong in the Lord and the power of his might or her might. And when you walk in the strength and the might of your egun, your spirit, your loas or inkisi, then if you have to force a situation, then by all means do what you do. I ain't gonna tell you not to do it, because if I have to do what I got to do, that's what it's gonna happen. Okay? I go on. It said, it says, stand therefore, having your loins girded about with truth, and having your breastplate of righteousness, and having your feet shone with the preparation of the gospel of peace. All y'all that like to give somebody a piece of your mind, keep on doing it. I'm going to break all this down. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherefore ye shall be able to quench the fiery darts of the wicked. And it says, that's a lot, as far as I'm going. Let me explain something, y'all. I've been doing warfare for a long time. You have to understand, your shield is only so big. I'm going to say that again. A shield is something that shields you from the attack or the striking of something or somebody. Correct? If you're holding your shield here, and if you're not protecting your vital organs, and if you don't know how to use your shield as a deflection or a reflection, then you're going to find yourself in a war with somebody like me that understands that you can only shield yourself only so far. The diameter by which your shield, how you shield yourself, whether through air, fire, earth, or water, or whether you're shielding yourself through a particular practice. I need to know what you have the capability of shielding yourself, because I'm going to hit you where it hurts. I'm never going to go in and have to deal with your shield. When you don't have somebody teaching you about real warfare, and you could think you're protected in one area, but you're wide open in another. Now, not only a shield, now we talking about the feet that is shown with the preparation of the gospel. You might have something and you might be strong on your left side of your foot, but weak in your right side. Y'all had those situations where your right leg is acting up and your left leg is fine, or your left leg is acting up and inflamed. Where you think I'm gonna strike? What foot? Pisces rule the foot, both feet. But when you are not strong in your conjure. You don't keep up on your cleansing with your feet. You don't keep up on your cleansing with your hand. You don't. All these make a weak link to the chain that can be broken, whether through hoodoo, voodoo, or Santeria, Lakumi, Congo. Your money magic can be broken because, yes, you doing money work, but your mind always worried about money. And that, my good sir and my lady, those are weak spaces that can be penetrated and cause that chain to be broken of your health, your prosperity, of your success. How much of territory do you got fortified? This is why when you have children, it makes you more vulnerable. This is when you have members of a church or you have godchildren, it makes that individual more vulnerable. The elder, whoever is the head of a people, when the enemy is moving, I have to re-fortify weak links in my chain. This is why I'm urging in my tribe, get your Egmont set. I'm doing all this stuff because the stronger everybody is, the harder it is for somebody to break the link, the togetherness, the unity. All of it sounds good, but there's work that has to be done. And once I get elevated and I get strengthened, I strengthen my brothers and my sisters. I strengthen my clients. See, everything ain't about a dollar bill. What's up, King Maker in the house, my twin? Warfare is about strategy. Yes, it's about your tools, but it's also about strategy. And when you're trying to break the chain of somebody's prosperity or their success, then the energy follows path of least resistance. That means that somebody is dropping a ball. Somebody on the west end of your protection is not focused. Somebody on your north end is distracted because they ain't went to sleep and they wait on the baby. Every agitation makes it easier for somebody to break the chain. Let's talk about it. The word weak means lacking the power to perform physical demanding tasks. You have to be strong in the Lord mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and economically. You must be savvy with strategies so you don't suffer loss because of the adversary or somebody being adversarial. Somebody ain't got to be a full-fledged enemy, but they can be adversarial to what you're trying to get done. My members in my church don't want to see my ministry grow because they're being selfish. So I got to go into, I don't whoop their ass like they trying to kill me, but I whoop their ass because they messing with my money and my mind is on my money and my money is on my mind, and you're trying to cause me to have some form of financial distress. See, there's a method to the madness if you are a person that is really in your spiritual journey and you understand why you need to fortify certain things, especially when you're going into the enemy's camp, because you ain't gonna always be able to operate on the home front. You got to be able to navigate any spiritual streets and spiritual say for instance, Even though I don't own the space that I'm renting for my ministry, I got to secure it like it's mine. I got to secure it from every direction. What directions does my ministry sit that somebody can come up from behind? Somebody can every crossroad, every road that I have to get to my ministry, I have work put that in those locations to shield me from any surprise attack. Because people gonna attack. But you have to secure or fortify yourself and shield yourself. Now, you got the sword of the spirit. That sword cut both ways. It can block or it can sever. And depending on how your skill set is with your words, you can damage the enemy before they get started. See, I'm the type of person, I'm trifling when it comes to spirituality. This Bible study night, so I'm trifling. When I had, I caught a wood rat in my other property. And what I did, because I'm a strategist, I don't speak rat. Everything has a frequency of vibration. I need y'all to really hear me. And since I don't speak the language of a rodent, I put that rodent after capturing it, and I put it in a black bag. And I allowed the panic of that rodent by being in the dark. And he was letting out vibrations and frequency that only another rodent would understand. And I wanted the message to get out to the other rodents. You come in here, you're going to get fucked up. And his level of panic and stress, he already knew his end was near because he can't breathe. But I need the vibration. Sometimes you got to do certain works that you send out the vibration because you might not speak a trickle. But you want all the hoes to know I'm not the one. See, you might not speak the language of a lowlife, but you want all the lowlife to know that you come here, you're going to get handled. See, everybody speak their own language. And if I find myself in a situation that I don't speak your language, I'm going to speak your vibration. I'm going to handle one of your goons in such a way. I don't care if you speak Puerto Rican, Spanish, French. The way I handle your ass, it going to let every other Latino know. Because I don't speak your language fluent like that. But by the time I get through whooping on that ass, I don't speak Creole like that. But by the time I get through whooping on that Haitian ass, I don't speak Gaydar like that. But by the time I get through whooping on that ass and that frequency go out, everybody gonna get the message. And I don't have to speak your language. All I can do is perform the right frequency. Do you understand? I teach warfare here. I teach strategy. I want you to understand just because you got a sword don't mean you're going to be able to cut through. That's why sometimes you got to sharpen your sword. Sometimes you got to be able to be smart like the children of Israel. You got glass. Sometimes you got to send out a sound. As a sound of a mighty rushing wind. Sometimes the sound. The Gideon army defeated the Midianites because of the sound. And they thought they were surrounded because of the sound. The universe is made of sound, vibration, our voice box. Sometimes you got to speak the right word with the right frequency. And then you create a sound that your enemies hear. And they respond. And they turn on themselves. God is a strategist. He's not just a warrior. She's just not a warrior. Malika is not just a warrior. They are strategists. And when you in warfare, you learn different things. And you learn how to get around certain things. Huh? Because some of y'all got a false comfort. I had to go back and refortify Mother Susan's house because the parasites got in. See, something can invade your space because you ain't sharpening your discernment. You're not growing in these classes. And so therefore, certain things can operate on a higher frequency than you're able to respond to. That's why a dog whistle is a sound that only dogs can hear because they have that frequency. And if you have not perfected your spirituality, your seeing ability, seeing is about frequency and vibration. Because your spirituality consists of signals, and signals can be dropped. Communication can be confused, like God did the Tower of Babel. See, there's a work that you can confuse your enemies, and you can turn. And I've been doing this type of work ever since I was a child. If I turn attorneys against each other, I turn people in the legal office against each other. I have so much confusion going on, so they cannot execute the case. They lose evidence. You don't even know that somebody used drugs and they get into the evidence, and now it got to be thrown out because a drug head officer or a drug head clerk person started using the drugs that's in evidence. I don't care how I get this job done. Somebody in the clerk of cards done mess around and type the wrong thing. But it worked in my favor. It worked in my client's favor. See, there's all type of reasons why you can use the spirit of confusion. See, I ain't trying to bring peace to my enemies. I want them to be disturbed. I want them to have high blood pressure. I want them to have tension. Huh? I want their fuck game to be off. I want their money to be funny. I used to tell them in the church, I said, oh, so you over here tending to my business. That means you ain't got enough trouble in your life. Don't worry. I'll be ordering you or something. Because you got too much time to be tending to what I got going on. So let me send you a fresh order of troubles while you over here fucking around in my life. So I'm telling y'all how people open themselves and they think they got protection that they don't have. Or they got protection but that it don't cover that kind of territory. That's why there's different levels. And when you want somebody to war for you like that, then you need to be accommodating them like that. And that's why it's so expensive. Do you not realize the type of work that Donald Trump spiritualists got to do? I done had clients, I say, my God, they're always into something. Sometimes even for the pay, you be like, They keep you in so much warfare. Because they always doing something. That's how I got as good as I got with my conjure. Because people in my family was always doing something. So I'm speaking from experience. Ecclesiastes 4 and 12. It says this. If one prevail against him, two shall withstand him. All of y'all solo dolos like to be caught out here by yourself. Talking about you gonna learn spirituality by yourself. You gonna you get it more cheaper if you do it yourself. You continue on. I want to see how that works out for you overall. Cause you gonna get caught out in this wilderness by a fucking hyena, and they gonna eat your ass for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's some spiritual entities out here that ain't no joke. Keep a coin out there with that energy that you can beat everybody and you ain't got no strategy you don't put down to defend yourself like that. Walk in the wrong sacred forest that we don't put some work down. Call yourself having your sex outside by the tree we done offer sacrifice. Now you having sex in that forest and you picking up that energy. And I don't plant it and turn somebody's ass upside down. Hanging from that tree. You don't know where some things are obvious where we work at. You see certain spiritualists, especially in Miami, we all use that saber tree, and probably for the most part for the same reasons. It's an old tree, it's strong, it's powerful, and it's in the cemetery, and it's a part of my own spiritual work. That's why I do it. I have a saber tree in other spaces, but they ain't in the cemetery, and you got all that cemetery energy in that saber tree. So it says, if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him. But a threefold cord is not easily broken. Let me explain something to you, sir and ma'am. This is not a money hustle. When you don't protect the weakest link, if you don't notice that somebody is falling off, you endanger the whole tribe. I'm gonna use the example. If you use raid, you kill the roach, or you kill the roaches that are visible. But if you poison the roach, that roach is gonna go back to the nest and poison everybody else. Energy is real. Frequency is real. Vibration is real. And you and your behavior, you can throw off everybody, including the queen bee. Understand what you are part of. Understand why you need to stay in sync. This is why when you get straight about when somebody cheats on you, you bring other energy, you bring other disease possibility. When you drink and you drunk or you use drugs, you open yourself for parasitic energy. You make our clan weak. When you don't study to show yourself approved and have basic knowledge, you make us weak. You lack power to perform your duties. When I'm encouraging you to step your game up, because I don't want you to weaken the tribe because you are being slothful. See, you're easy for somebody to influence. You're easy for somebody to distract you. You're easy to get into your feelings. And now you have made us all susceptible for attack. Not just the chief of these Indians, but every aspiring Indian. I take care of myself and I try to take care of my health, because if I'm strong, I can cover more territory. But you have people that don't think that they affect the tribe. You have people that don't think that they can affect. Instead of you learning how to use your weaponry so you can stand your ground, now you got to put other people in jeopardy because they got to come at your defense. Some of y'all, you are so big and fucking manipulators that you're not understanding that you are jeopardizing and you're opening doors. You're so selfish about what you want, you mess around and put the whole vision in jeopardy. Trying to get what you want. I've had to be skillful because I had wayward people. I had to be skillful because I had people that wasn't used to nothing. I have had to be skillful because I had people that it don't take much for them to get besides themselves. I've had people that was not used to power, and when they got power, they got besides themselves. All of these things make it easy for somebody to break that chain. You are a part of what makes that coven strong. You are a part of what makes that Elay strong. You're a part of what makes that tribe strong. And when I say to many of you, you wait on other people in the tribe to give their resources for to help me while you sit there and benefit. You are a weak link. And I got to watch you now, because you will break this chain. You're so focused on not the bigger picture. You don't understand that you can be influenced even easier. Your head is not fully engaged. So what's up, Jealous Sweets? Let me explain it to you like this. When you came up with illegalities that I came up under, we can afford a weak link. And if somebody was operating like that, they had to be checked immediately. People don't, when you are jeopardizing somebody's well-being, nobody got time to worry about your feelings. When somebody done invested their money in a business, they ain't got time to worry about your feelings. The bullshit you doing could cause my business to go belly up. Some of you guys want people to understand such shit that you should be, as a grown man and woman, you should never got involved if you were not going to do your part. And nobody, cause we in warfare and we got all this to going on in the United States of America. And we're trying to get ahead of the game. We're trying to put our money where our mouth is. We're trying to make sure Apostle Ely can do what he do best, that we all benefit. But you got some people that do not mind being a weak link. We done seen a many of movies when somebody else fall. Then I got to stop fighting my battle to come and trying to keep you alive. And not let me tell y'all this. I was in such warfare and trying to hold and maintain everything. And they saw me trying to defend Minister Mario. You know what they did? I ain't talking about no other people than melanated people, black people. They start pulling. They start pulling links from that chain. They made sure that my chain got shorter and shorter. My reach got shorter and shorter. If you're gonna practice this ATR, you better know God sent you out there. Cause niggas, I told people this ain't the time. Oh, if I had known you were going through all of that, I wouldn't have did. You mean to tell me you wouldn't have not showed up on your post if I had divulged all my personal business to you? It takes somebody telling you everything they're going through for you to do what you're supposed to do. You know how fucking crazy that is? How asinine that really is? You're gonna jeopardize the whole pack of narcissists. You're gonna jeopardize the whole pack of wolves. You're gonna jeopardize the whole pack of gazelles because you fucking got a problem? And we got a hyena, a lion on our ass that trying to take us, one of us down or two of us down for food? And you in your fucking feelings? Bitch, I kill you myself. This is not a plaything. This energy, frequency, and vibration. When you start a reversal work, you got to keep that shit up. When you in battle, you got to keep that up. When you cleansing yourself, you got to keep that up. You got to be in this thing to win this thing by any means necessary, sir and ma'am. Some of these people don't even know how ruthless I am. Bitch, the parasite won't get you. Cause I'm not finna lose everything that God has got me, cause you over there playing crazy. Playing crazy for free and for no reason. Because I don't have time for you to lose. This is why I go out my way for a lot of you out in my tribe and y'all support me, because you there for me in certain ways. And you think you don't want to lose. I don't want you to lose either. Therefore, I get on post. That's why it's good to support people like you're supposed to. And when you come under fire, I call the people to pull rank around you. You don't have to be initiated in whatever, but because of how you support me, I pull rank on they pussy ass. But I'm not doing that for nothing. Because you are part of this family of spirits. And you should respect that. And should not want to weaken that. And you should want to strengthen that if you have some wisdom. But you will jeopardize that. What they always tell me, oh, Pastor Ely, you won't lead the 99 for the one. That's somebody that got lost. That's not the behavior of what your ass doing. You're purposely getting into your feelings and talking about how important you think your fucking ass is. And you want me to risk me and the 99 for some bullshit. It's not gonna happen. We about barbecue and roast your ass. And me and the sheep, I'll be sitting down there eating on your monkey ass. Because that's what you intend to happen to us by the wolves. That you keep jeopardizing us, our financial business, our health spiritual. All this goodness that I keep conjuring. You don't mind affecting that in a negative way. And you think it's appropriate. You think it's appropriate that you leave doors and windows open. That you can be infected and bring it back to the hive. To bring it back to the tribe. You keep going out there doing fuck shit and keep bringing those bad frequency and vibration and energy. And you want me to keep on cleaning you up. And I got to clean you up because I can't allow you to affect the other one. But at some point, I'm going to put your ass to sleep. At some point, your behavior becomes unbearable. I don't know what you thought this was. I don't know what you thought this ministry was. I don't know what you thought being a member of my Haitian Voodoo was or Orisha was. I don't know. I know I have explained it. I know I was quite clear in my articulation. And that's why I'm going as much as I'm going about breaking shit down. Because I'm willing to get into the paint with you behind a war that I didn't start. And I tell you, I got you. Then goddamn it, make sure that on the tail end of that, on the other end of that, you looking out for me. Because the more I grow, the more I can cover. You got to have a strategy. You got to make sure that you're not losing generals and sergeants and lieutenants of your team. Because you jealous. Because you think your kung fu better than mine. Your kung fu don't have responsibility. Mine do. See, when you get blessed, you don't think about nobody but yourself. See, when I get blessed, I got to think about everybody. See, I already know this ain't about me. My elevation, all my healing, I know this is bigger than me. You ain't realized, and that's why you're willing to be that weak link in the chain. If they can't break through nobody else, they can count on your ass. And they see you running with the pack, they already know you the one that gonna slow everything down. And I might end up getting one of your strong soldiers in the pack because they so busy trying to protect your weak ass. We'll mess around and lose a soldier messing with your monkey ass. Somebody that's vital that can administrate and also hold the tribe. I lost a whole engine on this plane called Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated when Minister Samario passed away. I had bitches jumping out of the plane with parachutes, and some of them didn't even have a parachute on. That's just how much they thought my ministry was going to go down. I had people still on the plane, and a bit more, they thought they were going to die. But I ain't started this journey to die. And I got way more skill than you think I got. And because you can't see past the mountain, that's your business. You don't have my perception. You don't have the vision. It's not your vision. It's mine. And I want y'all to understand, if you get into the spiritual work, especially professionally, you need to recognize when somebody is deliberately I didn't say, like the Bible said, let the weak say I'm strong. I ain't say there were babies that got to be strengthened and grow. And I'm talking about people that know better will jeopardize your economic salvation for bullshit. They would jeopardize all that y'all built for bullshit. I'm not talking about when you look at what they're doing it for, it does not even equal up to the benefits if they would be loyal, be faithful, be unwavering. That's where warfare is. Learning the behind the scenes. It's bad to go to a gunfight with a gun and you get your ass whooped and they ain't got no gun. You have no idea how skilled some people are when it comes down to this spiritual streets. And now that my health is back, and I get to think about all of y'all fuck ass that played pussy with me. Oh, I'm gonna fuck you one by one. Cause I gotta be like Nehemiah. I got to build with one tool and I got to defend with the other. I ain't in no rush. God raised me up for a reason. And I'm going to capitalize on this time. But I don't care whether you work with me or not. If you find yourself in a situation and you are part of a community, don't be that weak link. Don't be the one, the door, the window, the sidewalk that people can come down and come to you. And you be that voice, you be that hand, you be that foot that they get in and cause the people you claim to love so much, the practice you claim to love so much devastation. And God forbid if they get one of your good soldiers behind your bullshit. This is a serious understanding you gotta have when it comes to warfare. And nobody cares that somebody was trying to help somebody up. If they can blow your ass up, that's what they're gonna do. All is fair. They were still attacking me. They didn't care that I was in and out of the hospital. They said good. They didn't care that my saints were showing their ass on me. They didn't care. All I had to believe is God's not a liar. And God gonna cause men to give into my bosom, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And when I say God brought me through, and I say God, I'm talking about the divine, feminine, and masculine. And you as you can see, this is not a, but some of y'all had very little roles to play, and you still allowed the enemy to come in. But I went and re-fortified certain things so it don't break. Because I don't work too hard. I brought this ministry too far to allow it to crumble because you. That's why I tell people, how do you say sorry if you call somebody they like? How do you say sorry because you are not a responsible adult man or woman, and knowing that this person got all this responsibility and you coming with the bullshit? I've had people out there running behind niggas ain't worth the dirt up under my old pair of shoes. How are you for the ministry when you out here giving away Arche and energy of our tribe, of our coven, of our church to a nigga that ain't got no respect for what we do over here. You're a weak link. You will jeopardize all of this goodness. You will stop all these lies from going on because of your foolishness. You could not replace me. You could not do what I do. But you will jeopardize me. I need that sing in. You will jeopardize your mama and your daddy or your auntie, your grandma, all these pillars in your life. They the one keeping your ass in the road. But you will jeopardize their well-being. And behind bullshit. Because you don't think it's bullshit. But when you compare what you about to lose behind it, oh honey, sir, it's bullshit. Because that person ain't going to be to you what they going to be to you. And they've been to you. I don't care if it's a career. I don't care if it's a business. You don't jeopardize that for that. I've never understood it. Some people don't have common sense. Why would you interfere and why you want to help this what's going on? Because if you don't need it today, you'll need it tomorrow. Because you can always be strengthened with the numbers that are here. You can always be empowered by what's here. You can always get guidance and direction and fortification here. And you always know that the Chief Apostle Eli got a word of accuracy that is going to be relevant to your life. You can't replace that. So why jeopardize it? You could never do what I did for Demetrius. Why jeopardize it? You can't do what I do for love. You can't do what I do for nobody, my big Scorpio or my family. Why would you jeopardize all of that? For what? I want to know for what? Because surely you don't have a skill set. Surely you don't even have the heart. Because if you had the skill set, you still don't feel that way that is necessary for melanated people. Because if you get what I got, you're going to take that to Caucasian people. That's why some people, oh, I want a man with money. That don't mean he got to bring his money home. You want to have a man that got a heart for you. You want a woman that got a heart for you. If you're going to give your dick and pussy and ass to, and mouth to a human being, at the very least, you need to know that they got your best interests at heart. Or you wasting your fucking time. You wasting your time. I don't care if you an air sign or earth sign or water sign or fire sign. And at my age, I ain't got time to be playing games. Incense burns can manifest. Candles can manifest. We're gonna be doing the psychic class. Some of y'all know you ain't a bit more psychic, but you want to be able to deal with telepathy. Get your psychic class. Pay for it. Won't you sacrifice for your spirituality? You've been sacrificing for your flesh and everybody else. What makes you think I'm going to be right here doing this type of teaching that I'm not going to evolve and elevate and I ain't gonna have time to do this. Who else do you see around me that's going to take out time with you like that? All I'm saying, have some wisdom when we have the people. If you're gonna complain about preachers ain't this, ministry ain't that, church ain't doing that, when you get one that is doing that, make sure you lining up. Cause that's the last thing you want to be as a complainer, and then you don't know how to treat somebody that has the opposite character. That make you look real crazy. And so at that point, what you're complaining for? Life is what you make it. I can't wait to Apollo said thank you for setting the tone. Absolutely, you're quite welcome. I love myself and I love my people. Today is my sister's birthday. I was running around doing everything, and I missed. So I text her and said I went to her house, but she wasn't there. She's out having a blast, Gemini, and but I want to start spending more time with my family because I'm always doing for people on the outside, and I want to be a better present brother, uncle, son, before I start traveling. I have people out there I love and that love me. And some of y'all is not considerate of that. I try to be there for people that have shown genuine concern for me, and y'all know I respond. I respond. No one is doing what you're doing, but there are plenty of cons artists out there. I hear trying to steal. When you get, I'm gonna tell y'all, and you can ask my ex-wife. When you lose something good, you ain't getting it back. I'm a Sagittarius. I'm not going back. If you don't figure out what it is that why God got me in your life, and you keep playing, the only other energy, if I'm a truth teller, you're gonna attract the light, and you deserve the day you have. That's all I'm gonna. God bless y'all.